What up? What up? Zach Bradshaw, along with the guy here. Back to talk some more shit about Ripple, or maybe I'm just talking shit about this unbearable bullcat. Um, the other day, I made a video basically just for my little brother to say, "Hey, get out of XRP. It's shit." Not based on technology or anything, based on the chart, based on trading things that make money. And that was the main premise of it. And that SEC lawsuit had just happened. Um, my little brother's still not fully convinced, so he wanted me to watch this video and see what I think. It's 50 minutes long. I'll watch it all. I'm gonna speed it up, so the as you watch this video, it may be harder for you to understand what he's saying, but I'm used to watching things on 2x speed. I wish there was even faster speeds, depending on how quickly somebody speaks. But first thing before I jump into this video, um, when I look at this guy's channel, I'm already sketched out. He doesn't show his face on it, and he has a lot of like stock imagery and stock things in the video that I looked at another one from him before. Um, Something else that my little brother linked to me too. But um, when I go onto his Udemy course, and I haven't checked his Twitter and his Instagram, but when I go to these different profiles, he's still not showing his face. It seems like somebody that does not want to get sued, right? None of these are actually like real people don't have social medias that look like that. He has another social media that's like him as a real person, and this is something he's using to he owns a bunch of Ripple and he wants the price of it to go up. So he's telling people it's a good thing. But that's what I think. That's my prejudice before I get started. I just want to say that. So I mean I could be wrong about some things, but I got through a minute and 40 minutes of this video and decided, okay, I can't just give Tucker my answer. I have to go through this because this is about to be a shit show. So let's get started.
The world is never going to be the same again. I'm worried about the world. The mass world is never going to be the same again. I'm worried about the world. The mass chaos and crises that there was in the world, it's going to be just like that now. This is not an accident. How long is it going to last? Longer than if.
All right, so you get the point. I'm going to speed it up, but this is a horribly tacky intro. Excuse my, talking while I'm eating, but this is really tacky. When you're in the financial space, you don't start with Robert Kiyosaki and Dan Pena and point like oh, everything's going to go to shit. And, he's going to say the Ripple is okay, I'm just going to let him play. But I'm going to speed it up now.
For those of you that have some cash in the bank, way past your cash reserve. Out of 100 people, 4 will get the message. This thing isn't going to be over, TV. This thing isn't going to be over too much.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Unbearable Paul here. And this is episode 11 of the Aggressively Average podcast, one of the most important XRP videos I've done to date. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I making this video? It's because people are scared. People don't know what's going on. We thought we were in the clear, but I'm going to be presenting you the 20 reasons why Ripple will win this XRP SEC lawsuit. XRP will be deemed a non-security, and we will see the life-changing wealth we have anticipated as a...
This is a major red flag. The way that he started out this video, you cannot take financial advice from somebody like this. Talking about the life-changing wealth we've been promised. That is not someone who is a good trader or investor. This person is a gambler. They don't do their research. I mean, they clearly do some research. It's about to be a 50-minute fucking video. But that is not how a real trader thinks. And I'm about to show you, he's about to say something even worse. This really shows that he does not know what he's talking about as far as buying things that will go up in price. So,
consequence of holding the greatest digital asset ever created. Now, guys, a lot of people are afraid. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and that is when you should be very greedy as far as buying. We don't buy at all-time highs. We buy when there's blood on the streets.
Okay, so I just got to debunk him real quick because I understand why people think this, but experienced traders know that that is wrong. You do buy at all-time highs because all-time highs lead to more all-time highs. So, for example, if we take a look at Bitcoin and we look at this weekly chart and we say, well, Bitcoin just got to a new all-time high. What if we buy right here? Would this be a bad buy? Would this be a bad time to buy Bitcoin right now? Bad buy for 60% to the upside? Okay, what if we run that back a little bit and we go find us another prior all-time high? Ah, this chart isn't long enough. What, I need to be on Bittrex or something like that. This only has as much history as this exchange has, and so it's only going back to 2016. So I can't show you the prior all-time highs. But every all-time high that there ever was before in the history of Bitcoin has been exceeded, and now there's a new all-time high. The same thing for the stock market and other things that tend to go up. Good investments, though it seems counterproductive, you want to buy low and sell high. When things get back to their new all-time high, they do not have a ceiling. We don't know where the ceiling is. So that's right here. I'm not predicting where Bitcoin's going to top. I have no freaking clue because it's never been up here before. So we don't have any history to give us any indication of important levels. You see, when it got back up here to the all-time high, it stuttered around for like 4 weeks before it then exploded above it. So buying just below the all-time high was a good sell. But as soon as it flipped over to the other side, it became a good buy. And that's trading, right? You know, even if we're not looking at all-time highs, but if we say, what if you bought at the most recent high? So here's a high right here, and you bought in right here. Well, you're doing pretty darn good. If we look at something like Ripple and see, this is the issue that I understand why people get confused about this in trading when something starts, because you're like, you want to buy low and so, okay, let me just switch to a different, let's do BitMEX. How long have they been trading Ripple? Oh, not very long at all. Bitfinex, maybe? Did they even trade Ripple? Sorry, I'm trying to find an exchange that I can show you this chart. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let me just do this one now that I'm here. Let's do it by the Bitcoin chart. So if you look at this against Bitcoin, this chart is setting lower lows. And I understand why you'd say, hey, well, if it ever gets back to the all-time high, well, from here, it's going to be like a 100x or a 10x. I'm not sure what the percentage is right here. I guess I could just look, right? If it gets back to the all-time high, it goes up by 3,500%. But Ripple has no history of making it to new all-time highs. This coin, through its history, has continued to set lower lows, right? And maybe that's not fully true. It had its lowest low here and its highest high here, and it's never really broken out of that pattern. And until you know which way that is going to go, you don't know whether this is really a good investment or not. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is going up like crazy, and this is the chart against Bitcoin, not the chart against the US dollar. It is going up, just not as fast as the Bitcoin chart is going up, which is why this one, the XRP versus Bitcoin chart, continues to go down. This chart is telling you that if you held Bitcoin instead of Ripple, you would be doing better for the last 2.5 years. So, back to Mr. Unbearable Bull, and I'll let him speak now. So,
Warren Buffett has always stated that. Take advice from the greatest investor of all time. Copy and paste the strategy into your portfolio, and you will win.
Warren Buffett, it's debatable whether he's the best investor of all time, but he is a value investor. He is not a crypto trader. There's a lot of different ways to invest. And Warren Buffett's advice about crypto is that it's fake imaginary money. So, do you really like, bad analogy, bro, but I'm sorry, I will let him speak.
Now, guys, we're going to start off with a few reasons right off the bat, just to warm up, just to rev our engines, and we will continue to dive deep, play more clips of people, these regulators, other high-level finance individuals, giving us the confidence we need to know that XRP won't be deemed a security. First, you have to understand the credibility of Ripple's team. Ripple's team have people from the banking, finance sector, government regulators with decades of experience that will not let their credibility go out the window by dealing with a 5+ year fintech company that's selling
Just because you try to bribe people in the financial industry does not mean that those bribes will work.
an unregistered security. Think with logic and reason. Everyone knows the price of everything, but knows the value of nothing. Know the value of the team behind Ripple and behind the technology of XRP. That's reason number one, a subtle one, but keep it in mind as you'll see just some of those people in this video. Number two, a Ripple IPO is possible. Why is that an important point? The people, the retail investor that own XRP do not own stock in the company Ripple. So let me ask you a question. If Ripple IPOs and XRP is deemed a security of Ripple, there's going to be two securities of Ripple? That doesn't make any sense. XRP is like a commodity. XRP is similar to oil.
So I don't know if this dude has autism or he's lying to you or he hasn't done his research or what, but Ripple, the way their company works is they're a big umbrella corporation that has three big buckets of companies inside of it. And they could easily IPO one of those companies because only one of them has a cryptocurrency attached to it. One of the other two could easily IPO, or the whole thing could IPO, meaning it gets listed on the stock market. They start to sell stocks of it. And that would have nothing to do with XRP. They could say, hey, what you did with XRP is security fraud, but hey, your company or one of your pieces of your company, they might have to sell off that other piece that is going to get them in trouble. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the law is going to be on it, but we're talking about price. Like, what's the price of the thing going to be? And that's based on perception. So, like, right now, Bitcoin is actually worth like $200,000. You can only get $30,000 for it right now because people's perception is only catching up to its actual value. Ripple's probably the opposite. It's worth nothing, and people think it's worth a couple of cents. We can have a more detailed talk about why that is, but let him. I'm gonna let you talk.
Exxon is an oil company, but oil is not a security of Exxon. Do you get the comparison? Now, guys, I need to be very, very clear before I continue. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to undermine the legitimacy of this lawsuit. But what I'm trying to point out to you is right now they are allegations. And being an XRP investor for the past few years, I've noticed that there is a level of synchronicity in the way these types of things have been playing out. Nothing has been coincidental, in my personal opinion, and there are numerous other people that would agree with me 100%. If XRP is what we believe it is, part of the institutional infrastructure of the new financial system, then it would only make sense that there will be a massive plan behind it. And I just ask you to keep an open mind. Now, for number three, I need to point out that the SEC is a shark in blood-infested waters, and XRP is swimming in the ocean known as the crypto space. The SEC swam towards Ripple first to look for blood, but here's what's going to happen. The attention will be directed towards the biggest scam in all of crypto, Tether, and the SEC will eat Tether alive. This is not me trying to come after the rest of the crypto space. This is me trying to point out to all of you the inevitable outcome. Tether is a scam. Everyone knows it, and it artificially inflates the prices of crypto. I'm not the only one that knows this. Numerous other people have been calling this out for years. But what's about to happen could be cataclysmic to the crypto space. I believe the SEC came after Ripple first, but Ripple will get clarity for XRP. XRP will be in the clear. Its price is not derived from Tether. Its price will be derived from utility. That'll make sure it survives the coming crypto apocalypse. We saw privacy cryptos getting delisted from exchanges. Reason number 4 why XRP will win and thrive is because Brian Brooks stated 6 to 8 weeks for regulatory clarity in the United States. We are in that time frame as we speak, right in the heart of it. Brian Brooks called it, and now people are scared when all we've been looking for is regulatory clarity. Regulatory clarity is being...
This is how you get regulatory clarity. You go find someone who broke the law, and then you prosecute them. So from what he just said, like, I don't know who Brian Clary is, or 6 to 8 weeks, whatever, right? And I'm just interpreting his interpretation of some crap. But the way that, like, the Supreme Court, for example, works is that only when things are in dispute and undecided do things make it up to the Supreme Court, and then once the Supreme Court rules on it, that becomes the precedent for all other court cases involved with the same thing. Apply that to this situation. the SEC prosecutes Ripple or the company as executives. I'm not quite sure how that will work. And then they come to a decision, and then they're able to say to every other project, hey, if you violated these same things that Ripple did, you're fucked. Or stop doing it. I mean, it, the way that this may work is that they may say, like, Ethereum had a similar thing. What they said with the Ethereum was basically like you get a pass because it was early. The way that it happened, you guys were a one-time thing that you're not a security because of the way that it happened. Similar to Bitcoin, there's nobody in Bitcoin to sue at all. Like they couldn't do this. This would never matter in Bitcoin. There's nobody to be sued. There's not a CEO of the company. But with Ethereum, they're similar. They could have had the same thing, but they do have more of a network value, and they're not as much of a like Ripple. Like the thing that he said at the beginning of this video is why Ripple is in trouble is because they sell it as an investment. Invest your money in Ripple. It's going to replace the financial system. You're all going to get rich. You're fucked. You're fucked. That's not what you do.
Brought on at an accelerated rate by the SEC, and now this lawsuit, when it's all said and done, will be the greatest thing that ever happened to XRP. It'll bring on clarity and the inevitable price appreciation. Now, guys, reason number 5 why I'm so confident that XRP won't be deemed a security is because Chris Giancarlo, the former chairman of the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, declared XRP not a security. He's part of the digital dollar project as well, bringing on a digital dollar to the United States. Needless to say, his credibility speaks for itself. We have someone like this naming XRP not a security. That's important to note. I continue to state the weight of the credibility behind XRP and Ripple will make us bypass so many obstacles, and that can't go unnoticed. We see in this article, not only could an eventual decision by the SEC to classify or not classify XRP as a security impact the untold individual owners of the crypto, but other clients using Ripple services that don't rely on the crypto, including American Express, Santander, SBI, could stand to be impacted positively or negatively, depending on this decision. After all, if XRP were to be rescinded, it would have a huge cost to their software provider. However, if Chris Giancarlo was right, Ripple could end up being one of the most valuable startups in fintech. He states, ultimately, under a fair application of the Howey test, and the SEC's presently expanding analysis, XRP should not be regulated as a security, but instead considered a currency or a medium of exchange. Giancarlo argued in the paper, the increased adoption of XRP as a medium of exchange and a form of payment in recent years, both by consumers and business to business, underscores the utility of XRP as a bona fide fiat substitute. Giancarlo was nominated to be the commissioner of the CFTC by then Barack Obama in 2013. In 2015, he helped lead the thinking behind the CFTC.
You're not saying anything that's helping this man's credibility right now, bro. Just saying.
Decision that Bitcoin and other cryptos were commodities, paving the way for the SEC's related comments that neither Bitcoin or Ethereum are securities. Then, at the height of the 2017 crypto bubble, Trump nominated him to be chair of the CFTC, where he oversaw the creation of a number of Bitcoin futures, including the CME Group and a few more. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Giancarlo is famous of a number of Bitcoin futures, including the CME
I mean, sounds like you might know what he's talking about.
Group and a few more. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Giancarlo is famously nicknamed Crypto Dad, and there's a reason for it. It's for things like this. And it would seem like he's hoping to influence the classification of XRP as he did for Bitcoin and Ethereum, or from the other side of regulation. Guys, this was an important endorsement that we got a few months ago, and another reason why you should exude confidence towards the finish line. This man will help bring on regulatory clarity, digital currency adoption, etc. Working behind the scenes, we have many chess pieces pointed in our direction. Next up, guys, reason number 6. Tom Emery, U.S. Congressman, stated explicitly XRP is not a security. Yet another endorsement that we need to exude confidence as we cross the finish line. And please hear it from his mouth.
But there's a lot of members of Congress that still think of this in terms of Silk Road. And when you say over 2 years, first off, my position is very clear. XRP is not a security, all right? But even if you want to do this, you want to have this discussion, the SEC. My frustration is you probably have heard very directly. You brought up in a very nice way. Maybe you should be doing this job and I should be doing that one because I'm not going to be so nice. Over 2 years is not only a problem, it is absolutely unacceptable. Because what this does is entrepreneurs like you and everybody else on this town hall, you start looking elsewhere. Money will go where it's easiest to flow. And the more the government puts in obstacles, and one of them is just inaction, the less opportunity we have to position the U.S. as the leader.
Now that you heard Tom Emmer state that, you also need to listen to this. Reason number 7. The CFTC chairman comments on securities and commodities within digital assets, and how something may very well start off as a security in its inception and transform itself into a commodity. I believe XRP Ripple paid a fine initially, years ago, about the way they handled XRP. The DOJ and FinCEN have given clarity that XRP is a currency, a virtual currency, not a security. And this quote by the CFTC chairman further confirms how I feel about that. Please take a listen.
Is it a security, first and foremost? And if it's not a security, it is most likely a commodity. And so that is the initial sort of test. What I will say is the interesting thing, unlike other kinds of investment contracts, is a digital asset can transform itself throughout time. So you can have a situation where something in an initial coin offering is very much a security. But over time, the system becomes more and more decentralized. The enterprise that originally sort of sponsored the currency is no longer the fore. The thing is sort of running itself. There's an intangible value, that's there. So you can have things that actually switch back and forth. You can also imagine a scenario where something is very much decentralized, but then all of a sudden, there's a pullback. The company gets more involved in it. It starts to look more like a common enterprise where profits are derived from the activity of others, thereby being an alley test. But I think all things being equal, if you approach it as, is this a security? And if you come to the conclusion it's not with the SEC, it's most likely going to be a commodity.
Now, guys, here.
That was like that dude's like a psychopath. He's just a straight up. He's a what's it called? A pathological liar. It's like he was smiling in your face and just like contradicting himself. If you understood what he just said, that was so ridiculous that it can change back and forth between at the moment of it. So okay, let me just run that back. I'm gonna break that shit down.
But over time, the system becomes more and more decentralized. Initial sort of test. What I will say is the interesting thing, unlike
Security. And this quote by the CFTC chairman further confirms how I feel about that. Please take a listen.
Is it a security, first and foremost? And if it's not a security, it is most likely a commodity. And so that is the initial sort of test. What I will say is the interesting.
He's about right. If it's not a security, it's a commodity. Maybe a currency. I mean, there's some overlap there, but okay.
Thing, unlike other kinds of investment contracts, is a digital asset can transform itself throughout time. So you can have a situation where something in an initial coin offering is very much a security, but over time.
So he says that in an initial coin offering, when they made the coin and gave it out, it was a security, which means that they broke the law, is what he's saying there. And maybe I'm calling this dude a pathological liar because I'm crossing what he's saying with the message of the guy who made this video, right? But let him finish.
The system becomes more and more decentralized. The enterprise that originally sort of sponsored the currency is no longer the fore. The thing is sort of running itself. There's an intangible value, that's there. So you can have things that actually switch back and forth. You can also imagine a scenario where something is very much decentralized, but then all of a sudden, there's a pullback. The company gets more involved in it. It starts to look more like a common enterprise where profits are derived from the activity of others, thereby being an alley test.
So he mentioned one of the things about the Howey test, which this is how they determine whether something is a security or not. And one of the things is, are you basically sold a package where you're making money off the work of someone else? And I mean, it sounds interesting. I don't know which way this is going to go, but it sounds like somebody's going to jail or is about to have to pay a big ass fine or something like that. It does not sound like this bodes well for them. I mean, these people who seem like they're on the propaganda side are saying things that like seem to be hurting them while trying to make their case. So
I think all things being equal, if you approach it as, is this a security? And if you come to the conclusion it's not with the SEC, it's most likely going to be a commodity.
And so what he says there is right. Well, if the SEC declares that it's not, then it's not. So there is some of that. Like I said, you can try to bribe the financial industry, and it doesn't mean it's going to work. Well, it may work, right? It may work. I mean, they hired a bunch of people that seem to know things. They have certain people pulling for them that seem to be influential, even congressmen. But that doesn't mean that it's true. Every time I've seen Congress people, and I mean, I've watched hours of it, even just like interviewing Facebook and them, they have no idea what they're asking about with the technology. Even with the voting stuff, like they were asking some of the dumbest questions, and they should have done the research to understand how the voting technology works before they went and asked the questions, and wasted the American people's time or whatever. But back to this guy.
Now, guys, here. Have you heard that? XRP is not a security in numerous other jurisdictions internationally. XRP is a crypto asset in Japan and not a security, stated by...
America sets the gold standard. When we declare that thing, it will change. Probably in a place like Japan. Maybe Japan will do their own thing because they have their own say-so because the yen is strong. But other countries do not give a shit. So they could just be bought out or whatever. You give $1 million worth of Ripple to some dictator of some country, like, yeah, it's not a security here, bro, right? That doesn't mean anything. The U.S. is what matters, and especially because I'm pretty sure Ripple's a U.S. country or company, and it's U.S. citizens and U.S. etc. So, I mean, another thing in their favor, I will say that.
Ripple partner SBI in the UK. UK regulators signal XRP is not a security as well. XRP is deemed not a security in every other country on the planet except the US as of this point. Why? deemed not a security in every other country on the planet except the US as of this point. Why? Why is the question? Are they holding back innovation?
This guy just said that it's not a security in every other place except the United States. It has not been declared a security in the United States yet. And what he said is definitely not true. I'm sure that more than half the countries in the world have actually not ruled on it and are waiting on somebody like the United States to come out with an opinion.
Is there something we may not know? Or maybe, just maybe, are these regulators stifling innovation for some political reason? That's possible. I'm not here to over speculate, but all I'm showing you is the facts. XRP is not a security in every other country on the planet. The CFTC chair stated if it's not going to be a security, it's most likely a commodity. Call XRP a commodity or virtual currency, whatever you want. But you cannot overlook these facts. In addition, guys, we have a former member of the SEC stating this. Reason number 9, why I'm going to exude confidence, hold XRP dollar cost average any dip through thick and thin. Please take a listen from each of your perspectives.
Bro, this guy does not know what he's doing. Do not do the same things that this guy does. Like, when he buys, you should fucking sell.
Do you think XRP is a security? And if you had to guess, what do you think the SEC would say? So with our SEC expert,
I don't think XRP is a security. I think XRP is a currency, and the reason why is when you think about the test that was laid out by the Supreme Court in 1946 in the SEC College, which is you probably all heard of the Howey test. It's a four-factor test: investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profits based on the efforts of others. And you have to satisfy all four prongs, but one of those prongs.
Like, you have a dude that started out this video talking about he literally said, the life-changing wealth we are promised. And then he's playing you videos. Like, he has not looked up the Howey test. He's playing you videos of people saying this does not satisfy the Howey test. Or this doesn't break any of the 4 rules of the Howey test. Like, dude, your own commentary on it is breaking the Howey test. These people are obviously just shills. They're pulling for Ripple too. They probably own some or whatever the case may be. But these clips are not convincing at all. At all.
Is not there, you're not security. So with XRP, Ripple could go away, XRP still exists. And so there's no efforts of others.
Right, that's what I'm saying. See, now I think your dude's getting confused because what he just said is right, and he doesn't sound like he's a shill. He sounds like he's fully distinguishing Ripple, the company, from Ripple, the token. And they're two different things. And it's really important. And so I'm going to run back what he's saying right now so I can get a little bit more context to hear him out.
Investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profits based on the efforts of others. And you have to satisfy all four prongs. So one of those prongs is not there, you're not a security. So with XRP, Ripple could go away, XRP still exists. And so there's no efforts of others in my mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was someone formerly at the SEC stating XRP is not a security, it is a currency.
He said, yeah, and he had to put that in my mind on it because that was a really weak argument. That was extremely weak. So I take back the benefit of the doubt I was about to give him before.
See, and in addition to that, a former SEC chair is representing Ripple in an XRP lawsuit. Did represent Ripple in an XRP lawsuit. Mary Jo White. Would you look at that?
Yeah, would you look at that? I'm not taking no advice from her. I'm sorry, homie. Would you look at that? The Honorable Mary Jo White.
So many people from the SEC are giving Ripple and XRP an endorsement. This is what I meant earlier when I said we have the full weight of the credibility of these types of individuals backing us. That is why I am not afraid of this lawsuit. That is why I'm not afraid.
This dude ain't afraid, but he keeps making videos about this shit like he's terrified.
We will cross the finish line, come out of the other side of this unscathed. It'll be a bumpy road for the retail investor, but the retail investor does not matter to these people. What you have to do is hold strong in dollar cost average. That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not sell a single one of my XRP. I don't know if you want to sell, but in my personal opinion, you probably shouldn't. Next up, guys, reason number 9. After the SEC made this announcement, I believe Yoshitaka Town in Japan has been thoroughly activated. This was a statement regarding the Ripple lawsuit to Ripple Labs and Bragg Rawlinghouse. They are our business partners and develops and provides next generation payment infrastructure utilizing blockchain tech. We would like to inform you of our views on the impact on the consolidated business results of the company regarding the case filed by the SEC.
So the dude's name is Brad, not Blood. So I don't even know what this is, but dude.
See, remember, SBI is a powerhouse in Japan, and Yoshitaka Kitao is the chair, the CEO of SBI. He is also in the ear of the Japanese Prime Minister. Keep all of this in mind while you read this. SBI Group's investment ratio in Ripple is 9% in total when valuing the fair value of Ripple shares. It is not evaluated by the value of XRP held by Ripple, but by the valuation amount at the time. time of fundraising for stock traded conducted by the company in the past. It is evaluated appropriately and conservatively, such as being carried out based on. In addition, more than 90% of Ripple's customers are outside the U.S. and 80% of volume of international remittances made using the company's solutions occur outside the U.S. Based on all of this above, we believe that the impact on this matter on the company's consolidated business will be minor. This is the weight and credibility of the people and companies behind XRP adoption. That is why you should be confident. There is a lot to be afraid about in the crypto space. Valuation amount at the time of fundraising for stock traded conducted by on the consolidated business results of the company regarding the you probably shouldn't. Next up, guys, reason number 9. After the SEC made this announcement, I believe Yoshitaka Kitao in Japan has been thoroughly activated. This was a statement regarding the Ripple lawsuit to Ripple Labs and Bragg Garlinghouse. They are our business partners and develops and provides next generation payment infrastructure utilizing blockchain tech. We would like to inform you of our views on the impact on the consolidated business results of the company regarding the case filed by the SEC. Remember, SBI is a powerhouse in Japan, and Yoshitaka Kitao is the chair, the CEO of SBI. He is also in the ear of the Japanese Prime Minister. Keep all of this in mind while you read this. SBI Group's investment ratio in Ripple is 9% in total. When valuing the fair value of Ripple shares, it is not evaluated by the value of XRP held by Ripple, but by the valuation amount at the time of fundraising for stock traded conducted by the company in the past. It is evaluated appropriately and conservatively, such as being carried out based on. In addition, more than 90% of Ripple's customers are outside the U.S. and 80% of volume of international remittances made using the company's solutions occur outside the U.S. Based on all of this above, we believe that the impact on this matter on the company's consolidated business will be minor. This is the weight and credibility of the people and companies behind XRP adoption. That is why you should be confident. There is a lot to be afraid about in the crypto space.
This dude literally just said that these companies are, oh my gosh, that these companies that are partners of Ripple are confident in XRP's adoption. This thing literally says that their investment has nothing to do with the value of XRP, but by the valuation of the actual company. Like, this is fundraising or stock trading conducted by the company. So that's their actual, like, real holdings, their actual assets. They don't care about the Ripple token because they just like know this one's going to mess up and they're just going to make a new one once they know what's compliant. But they already raised the money for this by shilling these crappy tokens to people.
In my opinion, holding XRP is not one of those things. Now, guys, reason number 10.
Just my opinion.
Why I believe XRP will succeed after this SEC lawsuit is former quotes and statements by the former SEC chair Jay Clayton. It seems to me like he knows how important Ripple and XRP are, which is why this lawsuit being slapped the day before he leaves seems suspect to me. We're going to start off by listening to some things he's stated in the past, and then we're going to analyze and speculate on just that.
And it's technology.
PR statements by the former SEC chair Jay Clayton. It seems to me like he knows how important Ripple and XRP are, which is why this lawsuit being slapped the day before he leaves seems suspect to me. We're going to start off by listening to some things he's stated in the past, and then we're going to analyze and speculate on just that.
And it's technology that can drive some of the inefficiencies out of our system. So that's where we are today. Comply with the securities laws, but push the technology forward. And the area that is of particular interest to me, and many of those regulators that Gary mentioned, is the payment system. We all recognize that our payment system is inefficient. Domestically, it's inefficient. Internationally, it's extremely inefficient. So if we don't work and use technology to address those inefficiencies, the market is going to do it for us. And I think we'll like the outcome much better if we as regulators proactively enter that payment space, ensuring that all the time proven safeguards around AML, bank secrecy, anti-terrorism, and the like are there. So I see significant promise going forward. But the announcement was a focal point for regulators of different types to recognize that digitization of the plumbing and other aspects of our financial system, including payment transfers, it is coming. What I'll say is the natural economic forces that it unleashes, taking fat out of the system, for lack of a better term, it's happening. Now we have to recognize that that's happening. Recognize our mission, safety and soundness, investor protection, fair markets, and ensure that as that digitization takes place, we're being true to those principles. But we should not be fighting that digitization, because if we fight it, it will go around us.
Guys, are you starting to see why I think there's some sort of plan behind this SEC? Lawsuit.
The digitization, bank secrecy, but the announcement was a focal point for regulators of different types to recognize that digitization of the plumbing and other aspects of our financial system, including payment transfers, it is coming. What I'll say is the natural economic forces that it unleashes, taking fat out of the system, for lack of a better term, it's happening. Now we have to recognize that that's happening. Recognize our mission, safety and soundness, investor protection, fair markets, and ensure that as that digitization takes place, we're being true to those principles. But we should not be fighting that digitization, because if we fight it, it will go around us.
Guys, are you starting to see why I think there's some sort of plan behind this SEC lawsuit? It's because Jay Clayton stated to push tech forward, and there are payment systems inefficiencies, especially internationally. He stated it's very inefficient internationally, and XRP is synonymous with that exact use case, with the payments and settlement use case, cross-border payments, internationally as well. And I believe he's not incompetent, despite how people may feel about him in the XRP community right now. So therefore, this lawsuit may very well have been a tool to accelerate regulatory clarity for XRP on whether or not it's a security. This will force them to make a decision.
They're definitely going for regulatory clarity. Um, this dude's reasoning for why he thinks that's positive is just like people in the government would much rather make their own coin and control it. I mean, what that guy was saying had nothing. It was not, he didn't mention Ripple. He wasn't saying anything. He was saying that if we don't figure it out, they're going to do it. And that's what I would suspect over other things. I think Bitcoin is getting big enough. They're just going to have to adopt it. It's going to replace gold or something like that. I'm not totally sure of it, but otherwise, I mean, they can make their own digital payment thing. They don't need Ripple for it. They don't even need blockchain for it. For some of this stuff that people try to use blockchain for, it's not even better to have it blockchain. It's for some things are like, oh, it's decentralized. It's not better to decentralize your financial database. I mean,
And it's exactly what we needed for full-blown adoption. He speaks of the plumbing, which is something Ripple has told themselves to be. All of this is important. None of this can go unnoticed. And he also speaks about KYC and AML, which is reason number 11 why you.
now I will say that them potentially using similar words that could be a sounds like a legitimate. I would have to see the context, but I would potentially use that as a clue for certain things. Like, oh, they've had a conversation, you know.
Guys shouldn't be afraid. Reason number 11 why XRP won't be deemed a security. Remember that FinCEN leak document just a few months ago showing banks are complicit with financial crimes? Well, XRP has AML and KYC incorporated into its blockchain. Reason number 11, it's already regulatory compliant. It's been leading the way in the crypto space. It will get adopted by these institutions. We just need that clarity. Ladies and gentlemen, reason number 12 why I have faith in this plan and the way things are going is because immediately after Jay Clayton.
That was extremely weak. Banks don't need help with KYC and regulatory, whatever.
Slaps Ripple with this lawsuit.
I mean, maybe some international banks or something like that. I'm not sure how this works across the entire world, and Ripple's not necessarily catering to the United States first, though. This is where the wealth comes from. So
We see Ripple come out with an offensive approach under Ripple Insights. Brad Garlinghouse discussed the day before this lawsuit was official that they would be getting sued. It shows that Ripple's on the attack. There was some level of planning behind this, and I like it. Reason number.
no, that was Brad Garlic House trying to make sure that his coins did not go down as much as they could have if he didn't announce it and pretend like, or not to say pretend, but you get out in front of things like that to mitigate the danger. It's called damage control, damage limitation.
13 why I'm confident in this plan is because as soon as Jay Clayton leaves, in the 2 weeks leading up to this, 10 other SEC people leave. And then Jay Clayton is replaced with a pro-crypto SEC chairman. Wow. Isn't that something? It's almost as if he's going to pave the way for Ripple and XRP adoption as well as crypto to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the precipice of regulatory clarity and adoption. Don't forget it. This is our moment. Now, guys, reason number 14. I'm confident.
So like the more I watch this, the more suspect I'm like this dude not showing his face in the videos and just pulling up clips and having the space in the background and stuff is really, I mean, I guess not that big a deal, but man, it's making me super suspect to him. It seems like a major red flag. But what he just said was it was nothing. What in the world was his point 14?
Ladies and gentlemen, reason number 12 why I have faith in this plan and the way things are going is
Number
because
12.
immediately after Jay Clayton slaps Ripple with this lawsuit, we see Ripple come out with an offensive approach under Ripple Insights. Brad Garling is replaced with a pro-crypto SEC. 2 weeks leading up to this, 10 other SEC people leave. And then Jay Clayton is replaced with a pro-crypto SEC chairman. Wow. Isn't that something? It's almost as if he's going to pave the way for Ripple and XRP adoption as well as crypto to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the precipice of regulatory clarity and adoption. Don't forget it. This is our moment. Now, guys, reason up.
So he just says something like it sounded like he was saying it's a fact, but I think he was just like imagining to himself, imagine if we get a pro crypto chairman after this. What? And it doesn't look like I'm looking over here on my other screen and it doesn't look, yeah, they don't have a new SEC chair yet. The four contenders. I mean, I can see who they are and I could start to look up these people to see whether any of these people are pro crypto. and maybe I will at the end of this video.
Number 14, I'm confident of the outcome of this Ripple SEC lawsuit. Ripple added Sandy O'Connor to board of directors. Let's look at her credibility. Sandy O'Connor has over 30 years of leadership experience with a deep background in finance, treasury, capital markets, and regulatory affairs. As Ripple expands its global network and continues to push for regulatory clarity in the U.S., she will provide counsel on key government relations and regulatory initiatives in the company's next phase of growth. They added her December 14th, by the way, a week before this lawsuit. Sandy is extremely well respected by her peers on Wall Street and the regulatory community alike. Her extensive network and depth understanding of markets, capital flows, and banking will provide valuable and unique insights as new policies and regulations take shape in the U.S. It's almost as if Ripple knew regulatory clarity was about to come and something like this was about to come. The U.S. needs a single clear regulatory framework for crypto that levels the playing field and supports American innovation and companies. Sandy's experience and guidance will support us on that journey. O'Connor's recently retired. And this is an interesting detail that all of you better recognize. Sandy O'Connor recently retired as the Chief Regulatory Affairs Officer for JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase. So you mean to tell me Sandy O'Connor is going to come and join the Ripple's board of directors out of retirement to join a 5+ year fintech company that is going to lose an SEC lawsuit as soon as she joins? She's going to...
Sounds like why they would hire her. And this guy is so confused about lawsuits and companies and shit because, like, she's not hired for XRP. She's hired for Ripple. She's hired for the company, not for the coin. But okay.
risk her credibility on something like that. Maybe, guys, maybe, just maybe, she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. She knew exactly what was about to happen. They had a plan of
Fair point about her risking her credibility.
attack, and she was going to help pave the way for clarity and adoption. Too many people being insecure about their investment.
But it's not like them losing that lawsuit when she was clearly hired on to handle it or whatever, or adjust to it or whatever, is not her ruining her credibility. And like, whatever. Like, Ripple may be destined for 20 lawsuits in the next couple of years, right? And they may win 17 of them, right? It's like,
That's right now in XRP when we have people like this. It's insane to me. Regardless, she recently retired from JP Morgan, where she set the firm's comprehensive regulatory strategy and led engagement with G20 regulators and policymakers regarding evolving regulation. We speculate as well, guys, that the G20 regulatory framework on a lot of different things, especially infrastructure, could play an essential role in XRP adoption as well. This leads directly to reason number 15. Reason 15 is
she definitely has some good old credentials for, that seem like they're matching, that matches the issue that Ripple's facing right now.
that the G20 and IMF, I believe, will help us in the US where Ripple bypass any uncertainty. The IMF and G20 exceed the SEC's jurisdiction. The SEC plays these games, continues to play all this theater. And let me tell you something. The IMF, the World Bank, the BIS, and others will get involved. From Anders Lumberg, Ripple and XRP are supported by all central banks. The BIS, the IMF, the World Bank, has been stated in 2 World Economic Forum documents. We are not going to lose. Cuervo Crypto stated this has been stated in 2 World Economic Forum documents.
Jesus, what did he just say?
World Bank, the BIS, and others will get involved. From Anders Lumberg, Ripple and XRP are supported by all central banks. The BIS, the IMF, the World Bank, has been stated in 2 World Economic Forum documents. We are not going.
He said they've been stated in 2 World Forum documents. They got like barely mentioned, and in one of those it was like potentially negative. Like, neither one of them were that definitive or anything. They're both used as an example, but like, Tucker, I think that what you need to do instead of depending on a dude like this is that you need to actually go look at the SEC's filing, because the SEC's filing says something about them being a security. I mean, I feel like it said it definitively. I guess maybe I'll pull that up at the end of this video too. I know it's getting long. It'll be like you had to watch this video twice, but I'm gonna let this one run.
Going to lose. Cuervo Crypto stated this earlier today as well. They're telling us exactly what the plan is going to be. The IMF stated just as money crosses borders, so too must our regulatory efforts. International cooperation can facilitate cross-border payments and address spillovers. This can be handled in a G20 level. This is still speculation, of course. But remember this G20 clip that they say infrastructure could be an asset class, and XRP is the institutional infrastructure of the new financial system. Sandy O'Connor stated the word infrastructure as well when she first joined. This language is universal. Please listen to the G20 for a subtle reminder.
Have made significant progress. We just endorsed the G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments to facilitate cheaper, faster, more inclusive, and transparent payment transactions.
The G20 has a roadmap that they have been working on for cross-border payments. Through our own math,
Has cross-border payments to facilitate cheaper, faster, more inclusive, and transparent payment transactions.
The G20 has a roadmap.
So look to the G20 for a subtle reminder.
Have made significant progress. We just endorsed the G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments to facilitate cheaper, faster, more inclusive, and transparent payment transactions.
The G20 has a roadmap that they have been working on for cross-border payments. The roadmap talks about a global stablecoin. He just said payments will be cheaper, faster, inclusive, and transparent.
Thus, it is essential that countries improve.
A global stablecoin means like something like Tether that stays as a dollar, meaning that what they're thinking about using is not something that is going to increase in value, which would mean very specifically that Ripple, which fluctuates in value just like all cryptocurrencies do that aren't stablecoins, would not be the one that is used for that shit. Otherwise, your price at Ripple is going to get locked in. You don't want Ripple to be used for this.
Their use of available resources and partner with the private sector to
Roadmap talks about a global stablecoin. He just said payments will be cheaper, faster, inclusive, and transparent.
Thus, it is essential that countries improve their use of available resources and partner with the private sector to promote infrastructure investment. This year, the G20 established a collaboration with the private sector.
The governments of the world are working with the private sector. I am often asked, Darren, why would they give us this opportunity? It's simple. The private sector has developed the technology for them. They didn't have enough time to develop it from scratch. They outsourced the problem, and now the private sector has it.
No, no, no. It's because government can't do anything. The private sector always has to create new shit. It's like, what do you know? Government would fuck it up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no. All right, but let it run.
Come up with a solution that enables us to take advantage.
To increase the uptake of technology and infrastructure sector and utilize the benefits, the G20
Sector has come up with a solution that enables us to take advantage.
to increase the uptake of technology and infrastructure sector and utilize the benefits. The G20, with the support of relevant infrastructure sector and utilize the benefits, the G20, with the support of relevant international organization, developed the G20 Riyadh Infratech Agenda, which was endorsed by the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors this July. The G20 Infratech Agenda is a high-level policy guidance for national authorities and international community to advance the adoption of new and existing technologies and infrastructure to reap its benefit.
The laws are not in place. They can't act on everything yet. We have an opportunity to buy cheap because they don't have the laws ready. Domestically, all nations need to update their laws. Once this happens, the G20 is ready for their global stablecoin.
Could you imagine, guys, us bypassing all of this nonsense with regulatory clarity on a G20 level? Look, all I'm saying is, we hear.
Ripple is not a stable coin. This dude is freaking delusional.
These organizations talk. We hear what they have to say. The G20 talks a lot about XRP's use case, doesn't mention it.
No, the G20 talks about a global stable coin. I mean, at least from what I hear, what he's saying may be true, but none of what he just played was that. Their use case. Suck it. Okay, I guess they're talking about remittances, which is one of, most cryptos, remittances is a good use case. But why wouldn't people just use Bitcoin for everything that they're pretending like Ripple matters for? I just don't.
It talks a lot
doesn't make
about synonymous
sense.
language. Infrastructure could be deemed an asset class that cannot go unnoticed on this journey to regulatory clarity. Sandy O'Connor will play a pivotal role in bringing it on. Now, guys, reason number 17. Caitlin Long, a powerhouse in the crypto space, was also quoted as saying this about Ripple and XRP. Please take a listen.
I've worked with Ripple actually dating back to 2014, so I know them pretty well, not as much in recent years, but while I was still at Morgan Stanley, actually, we took a pretty deep dive with a corporate client on this very question of how we actually help corporate clients save money on their cross-border payments. And Ripple is absolutely trying to solve the problem that a lot of folks are trying to solve, and coming at it from many different directions. And they were the first enterprise company that I met at Morgan Stanley, and had they come in to talk about Bitcoin, we wouldn't have gotten a meeting, but because they had come in to talk about something non-Bitcoin and applying the non-Bitcoin blockchain to real-world problems, they got the meeting and then it just got to. But while I was still at Morgan Stanley, actually, we took a pretty deep dive with a corporate client on this very question of how do we actually help. I've worked with Ripple actually dating back to 2014, so I know them pretty well, not as much in recent years, but while I was still at Morgan Stanley, actually, we took a pretty deep dive with a corporate client on this very question of how do we actually help corporate clients save money on their cross-border payments. And Ripple is absolutely trying to solve the problem that a lot of folks are trying to solve, and coming at it from many different directions. And they were the first enterprise company that I met at Morgan Stanley. And had they come in to talk about Bitcoin, we wouldn't have gotten a meeting, but because they had come in to talk about something non-Bitcoin and applying the non-Bitcoin blockchain to real world problems, they got the meeting and then it took off. So you're right, they absolutely have played an important part of defining the problem and showing that there are alternative solutions.
Imagine someone with the credibility of Caitlin Long at Morgan Stanley, working with Ripple, selling an unregistered security. You see how these arguments by Bitcoin maximalists start to fall apart.
Bro, this dude is man, he's like a kid in his basement that does not understand what's going on. Just because she said nothing to them about let me listen to it again just to be sure that I didn't miss something.
Oh, we still at Morgan Stanley, actually, we took a pretty deep dive with a corporate client on this very question of how do we actually help the corporate clients save money on their cross-border payments. And Ripple is absolutely trying to solve the problem that a lot of folks are trying to solve and coming at it from many different directions. And they were the first enterprise company that I met at Morgan Stanley. And had they come in to talk about Bitcoin, we wouldn't have gotten a meeting. But because they had come in to talk about something non-Bitcoin and applying the non-Bitcoin blockchain to real-world problems, they got the meeting and then it took off. So you're right, they absolutely have played an important part of defining the problem and showing that there are alternative solutions.
Imagine someone with the credibility of Caitlin Long at Morgan Stanley, working with Ripple, selling an unregistered security.
She said nothing in that clip about selling these people Ripple. She said something to them about bringing in the Ripple company for consulting. And maybe they did end up using the Ripple technology, but that's definitely not what she said. She said that she brought in the Ripple company for a meeting. And we know that Ripple has partnerships with different companies. I mean, I'm not denying that, but he makes a bunch of leaps. And maybe that's a 2-hour clip and she does say it explicitly and he just played what he could and I'm missing something. But man, his arguments are not like, if I was going to make a video like this, I would have done it better. Let's just say it that way.
You see how these arguments by Bitcoin maximalists start to fall apart. This SEC lawsuit, to me, was an accelerator for regulatory clarity.
It
The
is.
decision has to be made about this. There's way too much utility around XRP. There's way too much of an ecosystem behind XRP. There are way too many institutions and government bodies interested in the success of XRP for a little SEC lawsuit to hold weight. Again, I'm not
For a little SEC lawsuit to hold weight, but this chick is risking her whole reputation for this SEC lawsuit.
undermining the lawsuit.
Jesus.
That I'm merely pointing out to you that I really believe XRP is way too big to fail. We are reassessing the quality of our investment, and someone else from Morgan Stanley will give you more confidence that we have the correct answer. Zoe Cruz, 3 years ago, joined Ripple's board of directors. She was a powerhouse, a 25-year tenure at Morgan Stanley. She was one of the most powerful women in finance 3 years in a row. One of the most powerful women in general, named by Forbes, 3 years in a row. 35 years of experience in finance and foreign exchange. This woman will not be part of an ecosystem of a company selling an unregistered security.
Unless they were selling it before she got there and she gets paid a $500,000 salary. It's like, what? People wouldn't do that? You sound stupid.
And I want all of you to listen to her words. I have shown this before, but I have to show it again for those of you that haven't seen this yet.
Show me,
Please
bro.
take a listen.
You're advisor to Ripple, the CEO of Ripple, and it's sort of well known that Ripple is sitting on a huge pile of cash, and it's sort of looking for where to go with blockchain technology. I'm just, what's your thought? I mean, they've been very successful with the interbank transactions model, and of course that's one distinguished application for which they really created a market. What else is out there? What do you think would be the sort of bet for a company like Ripple?
Well, look, I think they chose a space, the cross-border payment space, high volume, low value, not the Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs space. The one that addresses, it's a multi-trillion-dollar space, by the way. $200 adds to a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you're talking about 1.7 billion unbanked. 1.7 billion people don't even have a bank account, no matter how small the account is, and another 2 billion people underbanked.
Right.
So they chose a space that said, not only do you have people outside of the financial system, and XRP being used as the bridge currency because it was designed for that, is a multi-trillion dollar problem that if I solve it, I make a lot of money, I being Ripple, but also I make a difference. And frankly, the reason I am so excited to work with that company is they can change the world. So that's their mission. They're not going to, it's very expensive, by the way, to have railroad tracks that reinvent the way cross-border payments are being done. So they're lucky to have a balance sheet for such a worthy goal. Having said that, look, I used to be an options trader. Options are wonderful things to have, provided they're not too expensive. They understand that the ecosystem is being built, exchanges that are worthy of that word, as opposed to fly-by-night exchanges in the middle of nowhere. So they are putting some money in that optionality of if that infrastructure gets built, it has two things. One is it legitimizes the space, and also you're making money on your investment. But I would say they are very smart in the way they're going about these options, but their main mission, where the money is being spent, is really laying down those railroad tracks that are very important. And no one, I mean, frankly, as I said, they can't pretend they occupy Bitcoin. They are store of value, just like Bitcoin is, obviously. But they're the clear winner currently in that cross-border, the clear winner. And that's what, as I said, though, I also say they could be the Netscape of the world, or they could continue to be Google from day one to where they are today.
XRP has been stated by Zoe Cruz as being the Google of this space. That endorsement should speak volumes. We are going to...
He just means the leader. She just meant the leader of cross-border remittance payments. It's like small payments, right? Like she said, not ones that Morgan Stanley and stuff do with we're moving $100 million from Mexico to the United States. She's talking about Ripple is fulfilling the use case of people like immigrants from Mexico to America who want to send money back home and not getting big fees on that, because send them your money like Western Union, they take a fat old chunk of it. And Ripple is looking for that as a use case. It's like Bitcoin does it, and people been sending international payments with Bitcoin since Bitcoin started, but okay.
to win. Bitcoin.
One of the things that I feel happens in the space, Tucker, is that the people who are the CEOs of these companies are technology, blockchain, expert level people. And I think they just straight up lie to some of these financial people about the difference between their project and another project. So Ripple tries to act like they have a whole bunch of things Bitcoin can't do. And no, if any specific feature from pretty much any of these altcoins is valuable enough, it can get added onto Bitcoin and will be. And when it's added onto Bitcoin, it will be the best version of it compared to other ones because Bitcoin has the most developers. When you talk about an ecosystem, Bitcoin is the ecosystem for crypto. Everybody else who breaks off in these other projects and works on them, I mean, any of them that are any good, we're a Bitcoin developer first, like Brad Garlic House. So Garling House. I say Garlic House because that's how I heard his name, or that's what I thought I was hearing the first couple of times was Garling House. But what she's saying is like it could end up as Netscape because we're the first, and somebody could come with better technology later. But right now we're the leader of this space. We're Google. But like that really wasn't the best analogy for her, in my opinion, or like it confused this dude. What she was really trying to say is not we're Google now. We're Google in the old, like we have the chance to be Google. We are the leaders early and have the chance to stay at the top or fall behind if somebody else's technology becomes better or team or whatever. Sounds like they have a good team, but they're a company, not just a coin.
Was Alta Vista. None of you know what the hell Alta Vista is. Bitcoin was Alta Vista, the Google of this space. That endorsement should speak volumes. We are going to win. Bitcoin was Alta Vista. None of you know what the hell Alta Vista is, but all of you know what Google is. That is what Ripple and XRP is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to address some fear.
This bitch just fucking said, Tucker, that no one will know what Bitcoin is. He just compared it to Alta Vista. Bro, do the opposite of what this guy says. Do the opposite of what he says.
fear, uncertainty, and doubt that has been going on over the past week and a half. There are a lot of exchanges stating they will be halting XRP trading. Binance US, Coinbase was the biggest one, amongst others, including Bitstamp. I'm going to tell you, I don't give a damn. I will continue to buy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to address some fear, uncertainty, and doubt that has been going on over the past week and a half, there are a lot of exchanges stating they will be halting XRP trading. Binance US, Coinbase was the biggest one, amongst others, including Bitstamp. I'm going to tell you, I don't give a damn. I will continue to buy. You will find a way. Uphold seems to be the exchange in the US. There'll be a safe haven.
Bro, I don't believe this dude has any more money for buying crypto. This dude is broke. There is no way a guy like this. I mean, I don't know. He could have some $100,000 a year job and just be straight up wasting it. But he ain't got no more money to invest, bro. He's just praying this thing goes up.
Even for the retail investor, but
Maybe
the
not.
supply shock in XRP. This is all good. It's better to buy low. It's better to buy at these entry points.
No.
It's nice when there's fear and blood on the streets. That is when
It's better to buy on an uptrend, not a coin.
my community, the XRP community, and all of you should become predatory buyers. Oh, let's buy this damn dip. People scared. The 1% buys at low prices. The 99% reacts to news, and 1,000% increases in value. They buy the top. We, my XRP warriors, we buy the bottom every single time. Exude that confidence. Reason number 19 why I'm so confident is because of this. Coinbase is getting sued over XRP commissions. So not only does Ripple have an SEC lawsuit, but now Coinbase has to defend XRP. So we have the weight of Ripple and the weight of Coinbase defending XRP as well. Isn't this so?
Tucker, this dude is so dishonest. He's so ridiculously dishonest, or he is just like, is not smart enough to get these concepts. Like, what the fuck is he trying to tell you right now? That Coinbase is defending XRP? They just delisted them because they're getting sued over XRP commissions. This lawsuit looks like it's going to get thrown out. Maybe. But they're suing for commissions. So like every time I buy crypto, Coinbase takes 0.5% and he's suing for those fees back. That does not seem like enough money to make anyone care about it. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's a class action lawsuit, which means that everybody that's been affected by it can jump on it. But this looks like a failing lawsuit to me. I mean, I don't know much about law, but it sounds ridiculous.
Oh, interesting. How the tables have turned against Bitcoin maximalists. How the tables have turned against people that hate X.
Dude, his coin is going straight to shit, and he is talking shit to Bitcoin maximalists. This nigga is insane, bro. Stop watching this cat. I'm releasing this video as a Zach reacts to the Unbearable Bull is fucking retarded because this is crazy.
XRP. The most of the crypto space hates XRP because we work for banks. But now they have to defend XRP. Follow.
And I don't know that much about the shit. I just know that it's easy to tell this dude knows nothing.
Follow the money, baby. Follow the money. XRP's gonna get all the damn money. And it's gonna be very fun to see them defend XRP. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off this video, reason number 20, why XRP will win this lawsuit. We have a date of February 22nd, 2021 for the initial hearing. This date is to determine if there is a hope of settling and discovery dates. The case won't be decided on this date. This is the discovery process by which parties learn basically everything they can about the other's facts. They get to request documents and take depositions. And I'm really going to look forward to seeing how Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson respond to the allegations that they were dumping XRP on a retail investor.
Oh, fuck. These people are fucked. This dude is literally pulling up this SEC filing, and it has stuff like this. And he is... Dude, this dude is a liar or has ridiculous cognitive dissonance. Just read this shit. Like one of the things of the Howey test, like you're saying, you have to get all four of them. You have to pass all four, not like you have to violate all four and then you're a security. Like, no, you have to pass all four of these to not be a security. And one of them is that you are not buying this with the intention or being sold that the value is going to increase. They dispersed at least 50 million or $500 million worth of Ripple. One dude and Brad Garlinghouse directly participated in the offering and selling of those holdings. For 5 years, while he was an affiliate of Ripple as its CEO and later chairman of the board, Larson sold not $1.7 billion worth, but $450 million worth of Ripple. So Tucker, they gave out $500 million worth and were able to cash out almost $500 million worth because the value went up because they pumped the shit up. These motherfuckers going to jail, bro. And maybe not going to jail because they can cut a deal or some crap like that, but and then Garlic House for 150. All right, what was this hoe saying about this? What the fuck was he saying about this?
Cap off this video reason number 20 why XRP will win this lawsuit. We have a date of February 22nd, 2021 for the initial hearing. This date is to determine if there is a hope of settling and discovery dates. The case won't be decided on this date. This date is to determine. We have a date of February 22nd, 2021 for the initial hearing. This date is to determine if there is a hope of settling and discovery dates. The case won't be decided on this date. This is the discovery process by which parties learn basically everything they can about the other's facts. They get to request documents and take depositions. And I'm really going to look forward to seeing how Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson respond to the allegations that they were dumping XRP on the retail investor. Now, I came out with a video about this just a few days ago, and I told you not to overreact because these are allegations. There might have been non-disclosure agreements telling Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson that they have to sell XRP because XRP is meant for wholesale use, not for executives to hold it and get rich off of it. However, the way the SEC painted this looks very bad. And let me tell you right now, when I first read it, I was angry, but I'm not emotional. I meditated on it. Calmer heads will prevail. I didn't sell any XRP and I'm waiting patiently. And trust me when I tell you that their explanation for why they did this is not great. I'll be the first one to talk smack. I'll be the first one to give Larson and Brad Garlinghouse a hammer. But right now I cannot do that. I'm invested in XRP partially because of the credibility, the integrity, and my faith in the people at Ripple. I have to see how they respond. I have faith. I have faith that these individuals are going to have an incredible case. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Patiently stand by. I have a feeling we're going to feel the full wrath of Ripple coming after this lawsuit, tearing it apart step by step, point by point. It's going to be the greatest defense any of us have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, because of that, that is my 20th reason. And I look forward to seeing everything play out in our direction. These are the 20 reasons why I believe Ripple will win this SEC lawsuit and XRP won't be deemed a security. There are actually many more, but I had to sum it down to these few. This is the Unbearable Bull here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. As always, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Continue to hold strong in dollar cost average because I believe we do hold the greatest investment opportunity in the history of mankind. Now, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
You want to know how to be a successful investor? The answer is stay with what you know. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to TV people, internet people. Just stay with what you know. If I told you you can only have 20 investments in your life, you would be very careful. You wouldn't be jumping in and out, listening to hot tips every day, every month. You would stay with what you know and you would become a successful investor. Everybody watching this knows a lot about something, whether it's fashion or cars or sports or something. When you see something that you know is going to be successful and exciting, don't just say, oh, that's going to be great. Don't tell you. Then you go and you do your research and you figure out how to and if you should invest and how to invest. And then you invest. You will know it long before I will, or long before other people in the investment community will also know when to sell. Because you will know when something's going to change again. Nobody likes to hear it. Everybody wants a hot tip. Everybody wants to be rich this month. In those days, we get nothing but focus and concentrate and dig deep and dig deep and dig deep.
So I can't believe he played that. Like, that's his closing clip when he is literally fishing for something to make him rich. He's not learning how to trade. He's telling you to buy the dip. When there's a trending asset that you could have made, 60% on in like the last like month. And that's just if you bought it once. He didn't buy and then sell this top and then buy the next dip and then sell the next top. You could have that 60% move, you could have made 120 on it, 120% on it. This dude's telling you to buy coins that's gonna keep going down, bro. It's like, no, he don't know shit. Talking about follow the money. Well, follow the money. How is Ripple compared to Bitcoin? How's it been doing? I mean, it's been doing shit. Lower lows, bro. Lower lows. It's like pretty soon it's gonna be as low as it's ever been. Oh, well, that's zero. It's getting damn close. Let's see what it looks like compared to dollars. Is this really compared to dollars? Oh yeah, yeah. It was on an uptrend. Oh man, this uptrend just broke, Tucker. Shit. Well, I guess maybe you could call this one big. Oh man, fuck. I thought it might bounce off that level. It does not look like it. Oh gosh, that's so bad. Tucker, get out of this. Don't ask me more questions about this thing. Oh, this is shit. This hurts to look at. This is burning my eyeballs. Fuck. Ugh. It better hold this level, man. If it approaches this, jeez. This is versus US dollar, so this is in cents. Oh, what was this all-time high? $3. Jeez Louise. I hope you haven't been buying this thing all the way down, Tucker. Ooh, ooh. This is a horrible chart. 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 I mean, I thought it looked. I mean, the other day when you had said like, no, it's been going up, and I looked at it, and was on an uptrend. Like this wasn't. Well, was it actually on an uptrend, or was I looking at it wrong? Let me look at this daily. Okay, so for before this, it was definitely on an uptrend. Before that happened. Okay, so I guess that's what I was saying is that yeah, it was on an uptrend because uptrend is basically higher high, higher high, higher high, and then higher low. So it's higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then it need to set a new high to maintain the uptrend, right? Maybe it goes up there and taps that $3. That's what you were thinking, I'm sure. But that shit just broke. Now we are on a downtrend. We have a lower high and a lower low. Looks like we got two lower lows, and it ain't even trying to make new. It ain't even trying to make a highs at all. Oh, this chart is fucked. Tucker, sorry I just made you such a long ass video. But this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, man. Like the dudes in the video that I showed you, one of them is a market maker. One of them is a former vice president of Chase Bank, right? JP Chase, the same one he was like JP Morgan Chase, JP Morgan, like crypto evangelist who talks about it in the space. And then the other one is like an incredible trader that has actually worked on the stock exchange. Who is this cat? I mean, maybe he's got his credentials somewhere else, but he looks like he's hiding his freaking identity because he don't know shit. He talked about doing his research and reading some stuff or whatever. It's like 80, 84, 85, 86, 87, whatever those points were that I read, talking about Brad Garlickhouse making $150 million and the other Larson's making 450, I think it was. They got 90 points against these dudes. They got 90 points. And the last one that he was saying, I mean, I was reading it while he was gone, but the last one was saying that all of these different things that they did, they knew that they were trying to pump the price. Is like what their final conclusion on that looked like it was. I don't know if that was the final one. That was in a list of 80 different things that each of them was them. That's how they lay out their case. That's the same way that the lawsuits have looked for like the election fraud stuff. So I mean, 89 points is a lot of shit to go through. But I would recommend that you actually go look and see what the SEC said about it instead of what this guy's saying about dudes that used to work for the SEC said about it. Because I'm sure I could make a video like that where I pulled up a whole bunch of clips of people who were like, no, all the crypto shit, Ripple shit, like whatever I wanted, whatever narrative I wanted to paint, I'm sure I could find some authoritative people with some type of reputation who said it. And I could have made the video a lot shorter than 49 minutes and not have retarded opinions in it as well. And sorry, because I am putting this video on the internet. Unbearable bull, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to just like shit on you. I know Ripple people get mad about stuff or whatever, but I'm just being, trying to make a video for my brother, being honest, and then also potentially trying to help other people because somebody needs to make some reaction videos to your videos. You need to. This is too unbearable bull. Like you need to get better at what you're telling people because it's not. I mean, it's not right for you to be so uninformed and full of shit. I don't know which one it actually is, um, but I don't like it. And the fact that my little brother is not just listening to me and doing what I'm telling him to do when I'm telling him to do it is probably one of the reasons why I'm a little bit irritated with you. But um, other people, and they call it the greater fools, right? You need a greater fool to buy at a higher price than you. And I'm hoping that's not why you're doing it, but I do, regardless of what your purpose is, I do think that you're creating more fools. You're creating more greater fools to be sold this shit from this Larson's guy and Brad Garlinghouse and all the other pump and dump scumbags. So um, that's it for this one, Tucker. I'll go ahead and shut up. It's a long ass video answering your question. Sorry you had to watch this crap again, but that's it for me. Peace. 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 Stop video.